Welcome to the Dre.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that, guys. I promise I did not mean to do that. So somebody sent this to me. Actually, I won't just say somebody. That's so disrespectful. It was Kevin Raymond. Clan the Spurs fan, put this on your radar. It is on my radar. I have no idea what's going on here. So apparently, why Jamal Crawford thinks Victor Wembanyama will overachieve for Spurs, the Draymond Green show. First and foremost, the Draymond Green show, which it's literally just him with a mic, but I guess that's me too. It's just me literally with a mic. It's pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? At least I try to add a little bit of presentation to these streams and these videos. I mean, I got some type of presentation, right? I got a little Kawhi here, right? Look, I don't make Draymond Green money, okay? That's all I'm saying. He could do better than this. It's always just him against the wall, and he's ranting, and oftentimes saying, like, wrong information, ill-informed. I mean, he literally said about 4 times now that the year that Kawhi Leonard won Defensive Player of the Year over him, Kawhi had only played 55 games or something, and that's just a lie. He's just flat out lying. So I don't know. Oh crap. She's been shedding lately, and her fur is on my pants. It's on my pants. All right. Anyways, yeah, he just says like wrong information all the time. Misinformation, but it's okay. Let's see what he has to say. Let's speed it up a little bit. I don't know if he does copyright. Hold on, let's do this. Ooh. Okay.
Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the post that you love, but you can get everything the Draymond Green Show right on our YouTube channel. So make sure you play against me. But I'm watching.
Oh, okay. They do sit down and talk. All right, let's see.
Yeah. And he's a special talent, but I think it's going to be important for him to figure out what it is that, like, he almost can do too much, and it could possibly get in the way of his teammates because you start to float and you don't necessarily know where your place is on the court. You know, like now he up there, and like great scorers are going to move around, but most
Wemby, this is true, but I wonder when this interview took place, because and obviously you can't really hold this against Draymond Green, like saying you haven't watched enough Spurs basketball. He's literally in the NBA, right? He's like literally playing every night. Of course he wouldn't watch the Spurs. Oftentimes when we're playing, he's getting ready to play or he's playing, so it is what it is. Mika said, please chill. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing. She's drinking water now. But yeah, but I agree with that. But at the same time, Wemby has done a phenomenal job of finding his spots, and Popovich and the coaching staff has done a fine job of figuring out what his spots are, and they space the floor like pretty well now. We had some issues, especially early on, with Zach Collins out there and just not spacing the floor. And yeah, he is just kind of floating out there. Wemby is, because he does so many different things. He's just kind of getting in the way. But now I feel like the offense legitimately runs through Victor, and it seems pretty efficient. The only problem now is just lack of talent, lack of experience, and even Wemby being in that role, he's a turnover machine. But yeah, it looks way better than it did prior. So I don't really think that's a problem anymore. And I don't know when this interview took place.
Great scorers, like, where they're getting it at. Wemby sometimes can get it here, get it there, get it all over the place. And I feel like as he move forward, it could possibly interrupt the flow of his teammates if he don't learn how to channel. What's your take on like his next level of growth and becoming who he can be in the league?
Before he came in the league, I said obviously he has a cheat code and pop, right? Mm-hmm. But I said his skill, whatever he does best early, we don't know, but it'll be highlighted, right? So Pop's gonna play him to a strength, whether that's pick and roll.
You know what's kind of funny is that I don't know if you guys knew this. You should know this though. Jamal Crawford was a mentor for DeJounte Murray, so it seems like everything just like comes back around, right?
Oh, whether that's setting the pick, whether it's catching on a certain block, whether it's getting in transition, whether it's trail threes, whatever it is, they're going to highlight that. The cheat code is Pop, though, because I don't think Wemby's best attribute is scoring.
Yes.
I'm not sure what it is right now, but I call it the
defense. Offensively, his best attribute offensively, I'm going to say scoring. I don't know. I mean, he's a really good passer, very high basketball IQ. I'm gonna go with scoring though, offensively.
Game when they played the Hawks probably a month ago, and Dre was crazy because he does stuff you're not supposed to do. What I mean by that is he may do stuff in space and like, oh, that should be a floater.
Yeah.
Like anybody else, that would be like, oh, he got to a spot, that's a floater. He's getting to that spot and he's reaching around dunking. You're like, what? Like, that don't even add up, bro. We ain't seen that. And then that game in particular, this is what I love about him. Pop brings him off the bench the second half.
Really?
Brings him off the bench the second. He starts the game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like the energy that group had. Brings him off the bench.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that game. Okay, I was like, when the heck did Pop... I was like, oh, yeah, the entire starting five came off the bench. And we got back in that game, too. Did we win that game? I don't know. I should know this. We only got like 4 wins during the season. Did we win that game, chat? Let me know. I don't remember. I know we came back.
And he came in that second half and he scored 23 points, but it wasn't that. He's blocking everything. And this is what you love about him. He's a little thing. As good as the talent he is, he's a little things dude. That's his game changer. So he's better than the hype. Not because of shit you can see, it's the shit you can't see. He's a little things dude. Every single time he's sprinting, try to block shot. Every single time he's running. Every single time he's in the right area on help. Every single time he makes the right play. He's a little things dude. And this what really got me.
Dang, dude, this is getting me excited. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Guys, did we win the game? Pop is probably the best thing that happened to him considering other teams that could have got him. Well, he knows that too. That's why he was so excited. Did we win this game? I feel like we did. I know we came back. I don't recall. This clip made me so happy. Been preaching about Wemby's character. No. Be right back. Oh, you about to go check? We definitely didn't. No, you don't have to go. Mr. Z, you don't have to go. They said we didn't.
The game of walking out. He's in the weight room. He sees me. He drops the weights. He comes down. He shakes my hand. He doesn't even say nothing. He just puts his head down. Like he wants some wisdom or knowledge. I said, oh, he's going to be great. Because he wants to keep learning, the drive to keep getting better. But the little things he does, besides the big things you see, is why he's going to be out. He's actually better than the hype. It's scary.
Get in on the...
That's what the, oh my God, what the heck? Yeah, dude, I've been saying that too. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we've been talking about that quite a bit. Like all those small things about Wemby that's actually going to make him great. One thing that stands out to me, and we talked about this, had it been October? I think we talked about this in October, was the fact that they were interviewing Don Barlow and he was like taken aback by Wemby during the summer league. And he wasn't taken aback just by how good Wemby was. He was taken aback because he said Wemby during practice was coming up to me, asking me questions and asking me how do I do this? How do I do that? Ask me stuff about the league. And he's like, dude, I'm undrafted. And this first overall pick is trying to get as much information out of me as possible. I know one thing that people often complain about when it comes to NBA players in this generation is that they grow up with, AAU, and they're told growing up that you're going to be so great, you're going to be a wonderful player, you're going to be the next whatever, the next Kobe, the next this, the next that. And a lot of times what comes with that is lack of humility, lack of learning. You think you already know everything, right? That was the whole reason why I was so high on Shaedon Sharpe. And don't get me wrong, he's a really good player, but I was really high on him. And then when I heard his interviews, I was like, ooh, I don't know, guys. I don't think that this would be a Spur. Because he came across like, I already know everything, or I don't even know. Like he was talking about Spurs, he didn't even know who was on the team. Like, I don't know. I don't care. And that's the type of stuff that you don't really want on your team, especially for a guy that's like leading the way and all that good stuff. But Wemby, he's that old school mentality, right? He is the Duncans, he is the Kobe's, he is the Jordans. He's in that category. And he's going to be a killer. And I'm hoping, this is what I'm praying for, okay? Because I don't want to come across as a hater when I say this. And people are going to really hate this take, I think. Maybe not Spurs fans, because we don't care that much about this specific thing anyways. But I never cared for the fact that LeBron James was the face of the NBA. And it had nothing to do with his skill set. It has nothing to do with how great he is or anything like that. Like I think the hype was deserved for LeBron, obviously, right? One of the greatest players to ever walk this earth. But I never felt like he brought people to another level. Maybe on his team, he definitely made his teammates, better. But as far as like that competitiveness and that nastiness and that cutthroat mentality, I never felt that when going against him. And I never felt that from other teams as well going against LeBron. I don't think there's a lot of teams, and I know people say this all the time, and it seems like a cliche at this point, but I don't know how many people really feared LeBron James, right? I just don't know. But right now, I will say this with Wemby, and he's just a rookie. He's nowhere near as good as he's going to be. All right, I'm not even saying he's a top 5, top 10 player in this league right now. I'm not saying that. Some people will. I will never go that far. But I will say this. The times in which I've seen Wemby go against guys during this season, he has brought out the best in every single one of his matchups. Maybe minus the Suns, but he just kind of demolished them. But like, I think about these performances against Giannis. It's like, oh my goodness, this was just a highlight reel for both of them. I think of even Chet, where Chet was just, I'm just going to play my role. And he brought out the best in Chet. He brought up that competitive nature in Chet as well. He did the same thing with Joel Embiid. I mean, Joel Embiid's like, I'm putting up 70 tonight. Like, it's so much fun. And with this type of player being the face of the NBA, I think it's going to do wonders for us, man. Like, oh, it's going to do wonders for us. I even think of the All-Star weekend, how terrible it was. And it seemed like he was the only one that was a little frustrated by how the skills challenge went, where you have like Anthony Edwards shooting threes with his left hand. And it's just like, come on, man. I mean, they're looking at during the pass, I don't know what it was called, the passing drill. I don't know what it would be called. But they're looking at Wemby like, how do you want to do it? And Wemby's saying, well, let's just go all the way around. Terrible idea, but it showed leadership nonetheless. He cared. I just feel like Wemby is really going to take the league to another level. Like, he's going to bring out the best in people. And it's very similar to what I used to see with Kobe. I was terrified of Kobe. I was terrified of Kobe, man. Every time the Spurs had to go against Kobe, I was terrified. I was petrified. I did not want to go against Kobe. Even when he had that team that wasn't that talented, like he had, older Dwight Howard, older Steve Nash and everything. And he just put that entire team on his back to get into the playoffs. And I knew we had to play him. He ended up getting hurt, obviously, but I knew we had to play him. I was terrified. I did not want to go against Kobe. I just didn't. It's just too scary. But I don't really get that vibe with LeBron that much. But I think Wemby is that type of player. Like, he cares about every little thing. I mean, LeBron loves the game too, but it's just something about him. He's nasty. I wasn't scared, Clan. I don't know what's wrong with you. I was terrified of Kobe. I don't know. You're scary if you weren't scared of Kobe back in the day. I did not want to go against Kobe, especially that version. I did not want to go against Kobe. I was like, bring it on, sucker. I was like, don't play us. We got Duncan. That's true. We do have Duncan. I mean, teams hated going against Duncan too, right? I mean, my perspective, I had Duncan, so I wasn't scared of Duncan, but I'm sure other teams were scared to go against the San Antonio Spurs.
I haven't gotten an opportunity to play against him, but I actually think, to your point, I think his best attribute is his defense.
Yes.
He can control the game defensively right now better than he can offensively.
Yep.
And he's already pretty amazing offensively, what he can do.
In the Rising Stars game, he literally locked down the whole key. And I said, to win this game, you're going to have to get a mid-range shot because you can't go in there and you can't pull up a three. And my guy, I want to mess up his name.
Buzelis.
Went to a mid-range. And I told Buzelis after the game, I said, I'm glad somebody did because you weren't going in the key. Mm-hmm. Even the shots he doesn't block, he alters. You're thinking about him.
Okay. All right, guys. Does Jamal Crawford have a podcast? I need to listen to more Jamal Crawford. Does he have a podcast? I need to know this. Chat, please let me know. We got to listen to more Jamal Crawford. We have to. Jeez. Isn't it great that the one guy that I want for the San Antonio Spurs in the draft, we're talking about right now, he's the one that figured out Wemby. Ain't that something? I don't know about podcasts, but he definitely has a crush on Buzelis.
Oh, I can get this one off. And he goes and gets one. You're like, damn, I ain't seen that. Mm-hmm. Like we use the word different so much, but he actually is different. Mm-hmm. I think what he is for real, I think he was a guard that he just stretched all the way out. So he sees the game like a guard.
Yes.
He's not like a big trying to dribble. He sees the game like a guard. Oh, boom, boom. That should have went right there already. Shoot it. Like, he's like, I'm like, damn. He's a different breed. I seen it in person. It's crazy.
That's exciting.
The little things is what separates him though.
So if you're starting a franchise today,
yeah,
all the guys in the league, you starting it with Wemby?
is my franchise trying to go for it the next 3 years, or trying to go the
let's
next?
say you starting a franchise.
Just stop playing. Everyone knows what that means. Draymond Green, you can explain it, but we all know what that means. Stop playing around. We know what that means. Starting a franchise, you mean you're rebuilding. You're starting a franchise. You want to make a dynasty. Yes, you start with Wemby. And all players in the league, yes, you start with the freaking guy who just turned 20 that can do all this. Yes. Let's stop playing around. I know he's trying to be respectful, but come on. Buzelis was a point guard before his growth spurt. He's nasty, dog. He works for NBA on TNT, has decent take. Oh, that's right. That's unfortunate. I would much rather him just have his own channel.
And you're the owner of the franchise, so you could be tough going all in the first 3 years.
Right.
You try to go all in the first 3 years, it can possibly set you back another 5
For sure.
to 6 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Going for it in 3.
Yes. Good God. I wish Spurs fans understood this. Now, I've said this before because some people have said, well, Clan, I mean, you want to go after Trae Young right now. Wouldn't that set you back? And I'm like, no, it wouldn't, because we have so many first-round picks. Our front office, Brian Wright, has really set us up where we can afford to get rid of a future first, or here or there, give rid of the Charlottes. It doesn't really matter. We got so many second-round picks as well. We can move in and move up in drafts. There's so many things the San Antonio Spurs can do. It's fine. It's fine, but they've already set the stage for being able to grow over the years, right? Without solely relying on just having Trae Young. What was I talking about? I hate the way he's phrasing this. Just say we're talking about a player that's going to be the franchise. You're trying to create a dynasty. All right, you're starting off. You're in the rebuild. You're creating a dynasty. Yes, you start with Wemby. Yes.
3 years. So just say you starting it in the runway is the runway.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no doubt. If it was 3 years, then it's like a Joker, right? Or it's like Embiid. But if it's like 7 years or 5 to 7, yeah, it's him for sure.
There we go.
Now it's just about who's gonna play with him. And to your point, okay, what does he do best where we know what to put around him?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that part of it. But if it's that, it's without a doubt, he's the one I'm starting.
Man, what a great podcast, Draymond. Draymond's much better. I will say this. He's much better when he has other people to bounce off of. That was not bad whatsoever. I'm not mad at that one. I'm looking at the comments. He's actually better than the hype. It's scary. He is better than the hype. And we all knew that he would reach that height. Like, we knew a lot about him beforehand. I watched him in Friends. I mean, I was watching him at least, I won't sit here and say I was watching him 5 years ago, but I was watching him at least a year before we knew the Spurs were going to get him. I was trying to pay attention and watch some of his games, and I was like, oh my God, this dude is something serious. Let's see. Wemby will be the next face of the NBA when he starts winning games all by himself. He controls so much defensively. He can just jump all over the place, man. He covers so much ground. It's crazy. Draymond saying Wemby doing too much is hilarious. Defensively, he's better than expected offense. And another thing, too, there hasn't been anybody that really talked bad about Wemby thus far, mind you. It's always like some like idiot. But every single journalist, every single player, they've been so respectful of him. It's crazy. Even Chris Paul, like, he's not a very nice guy, but he immediately wanted to trade jerseys with him after they played. Like, it's insane. Do I F with speaker knockers? The heck is that? I don't know what that is. Duncan won in like his third year. He's a different breed. No. First off, Duncan was older than what Wemby is right now. And Duncan was on an established veteran team. So Duncan's a monster. Don't get me wrong. Duncan's a monster, but yeah, no. He had a lot of help. And he was older. I think people really underestimate that, by the way. Like age when it comes to these discussions. But Duncan was nasty.